Well, let's just start from the beginning. So when you were kids in the 80s, like how did the lyrical side of things start? Like were you guys rapping to your favorite EPMD in front of the mirror, like checking your b-boy stance, like doing that kind of shit?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah?
Hell yeah, dude. Hell. My mom, we had an apartment in the neighborhood on Sherborne and Guthrie, man, and it was an amazing apartment. And we had big mirrors in the living room. So, like, when you walked in the living room, you know, you saw yourself. Man, I would go and I would do all the fucking Fresh Prince. Brand New Funk was my favorite one to do.
Brand New Funk.
But seriously, I mean, I never considered myself a rapper. Still don't. You know what I'm saying? I just do it because me and the homie do it. But of course, we got our b-boy stances on. We wanted to be fresh. You know what I'm saying? I had to look fresh. I wanted to make sure I was fresh. So I definitely did that. I know he did. Yeah. I seen pictures of this fool.
Yeah. Were you guys trying to make your own, or were you?
Nah. The thing about us becoming rappers was, you know, we hated. When we hooked up, we were music people. I mean, that was our bond, right? Like he was the only guy I ever met who I could talk about Freestyle Fellowship and the Beatnuts and Roy Ayers and Bob James. It's like no one else in high school was into that kind of shit.
Led Zeppelin too.
Yeah, like shit like that. Like no one I knew cared about that type of shit. So we were about music, and we were also surrounded by dudes that wanted to rap, but we wanted to make music, and so all these dudes wanted to rap, and we were making beats, and we had to deal with dudes who wanted to rap but didn't give a shit about music at all. And that our favorite rappers were guys who made beats, like the Beatnuts. Like we say, like, look at these dudes. They make beats and they give beats to MCs, but they keep the best shit for themselves. So like, kind of being inspired by that. Like when we linked up, we were like, you know what, man, fuck these MCs. Like we're just gonna rap on it anyways. Never considered ourselves, you know, rappers or whatever, but it was a means to just get the shit done and not have to deal with rappers.
And I didn't start rapping really until I met, you know, I went to high school immersed in Eli and Scarab. And I didn't really start freestyling and letting that go until I met those dudes. So I was like, these niggas can do it, I can do it too. Fuck it. You know, and then when I met this dude, we just sat down. I mean, it was never a plan for me and this dude to be in a group. You know what I'm saying? We made beats, we liked each other's beats, and one day we was like, fuck it, let's go record. He got some new equipment, a mic. Let's go record something. Let's write it. And we wrote the fucking first song, and look.
But you guys threw in ciphers and like went to Unity and stuff like that?
Big time.
But see, the thing was, it was mad competitive.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing with me and this dude, we went to Unity, we went to all those spots, but we were the people. And check this out. People ask us, where's the name come from? We were the people on the stairs. We didn't go and say, let's rap. We didn't want to say, like, yeah, we're dope. We just stood in the back and just, you know, just sat and watched everything. Just watched slaves, you know? Yeah. You know, we were there, though.
We were there. In fact, we were the people in the front row. We were the first people in. But we also started going, at that time, we were going to, like, smaller clubs, like, smaller things. Like, there's a spot called the Yaya T-Bar. And the Yaya T-Bar, Double K, would DJ, right? And we were the posse, right? So, like, I was like, that was my dude. Like, we would all roll deep. And so Double K would start DJing, and, of course, then, like, guys would start rapping. And I was like, I started to feel like, fuck, like, you know, I should probably be, you know, ciphering up with these dudes and whatever. But, I mean, to even step into the fucking cipher back then, you couldn't spit any written shit, and you had to be fucking game tight. You had to be dope.
You were gonna get fucked. You did all the way out.
Nah, yeah, you could physically get hurt, man. Motherfuckers would get yoked up, right? So, you know, that was like a quick step where it's like all of a sudden you go from being like some dudes that are into it to having to get your weight like way the fuck up, you know?
Sure.
So
you'd have to actually do something that was actually impressing people, or like what were you?
it was a combination of bagging, riding the beat, and having balls, you know.
Yeah.
That's what it was. When me and this dude, we both peace. What's up, homie? Me and this dude, we love the funk. I mean, even when we first met, like he said, there were no cats that loved the old music that we loved. We got off on listening to Motown and P-Funk and Led Zeppelin and things like that. So we wanted to bring the funk to everybody. Like, fuck how dope we are. I mean, we tried to be dope.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you know, it was cool. We knew our beats were the shit, but we couldn't bring the beat. So, you know, we do our shit, you know what I mean? But we just wanted to bring the funk. We saw that, we could ride the beat. We're on time, and we're not going to flub our lyrics. We're not going to stutter. We're going to get it in.
We're going to make sure it's straight up.
Whether you like it or not, we did it. You know what I mean?
And see, then what happened was, I think because like we weren't the super scientifical rappers, we kind of got in our lane. Like we were making music for us to listen to. So we started writing, I think, not even thinking about it. We just started writing about the daily shit, like a lot of day-to-day stuff. San Francisco Nights is basically a day-to-day thing that's of something that actually happened with a lot of inside jokes and this and that. And then we realized that people like that, and we kind of fell into that role. You know, like it was great because people didn't expect us to be scientifical lyricists. They expected to hear about Mike and Chris, so we kept writing like that after that. Yeah.
It just wasn't us.
When you guys first met and you guys met in the car, you traded beats and shit. Did you guys just naturally flow into like, okay, well, we're both gonna rap too, or one of you guys gonna be the DJ and one be the MC, or
nothing like that, man. We were just like, okay, well, guess what? Let's kick it this weekend.
Okay.
That's all it was. I'm gonna hit you up, homie. Let's kick it, man. Let's play some more beats for each other. Sure. And then after that, after a couple weekends of that and smoking hella weed and drinking and being fucking, you know, young adults, you know, it was like this fool got an 8-track. He just got his 3000 and was like, come to the crib, man. Let's record a song. Cool. All right, let's do it. Spent the night at his house, man. Fucking made a song. Was like, that song's cool. Let's record another one. Yes. And then the other one was dope. And we kept recording. And we looked at each other. Was like, you just put this shit out.
The majority of
shit is good.
Yeah, the majority of those sessions is what the next step is. It's just a bunch of shit we made in a room.
Damn.
Without even saying, yo, let's be a group. We just love music, man.
We weren't really a group until the record came out.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't until '98.
I don't even think we were a group when the record came out.
It's like, it's a collection of our shit.
Right.
There's a picture of me and him, and here's our music.
Anthology.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
We still ain't a group, man. We just homies.
Yeah,
and shit. Just making music, dude.
But that's probably like something that keeps the longevity. I mean,
for sure. Because yo, man, a lot of cats. I mean, I've seen a lot of cats that were good, maybe better than us. Can't. They just can't do it, man.
The group mentality.
They don't love the music as much, I guess, man. Because if you let other shit get in the way of the music, then you're fucking up.
Sure.
We love the music.
Sure.
We want to give music to the people. We love doing that. That's how we express ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Some people, man, they do, you know, crazy shit. But
and that's why sometimes when we read some of the feedback on shit, we just scratch our heads or laugh because this is so fucking ridiculous. What some people who aren't super familiar with us, what they think we should be doing or not doing, right?
Yeah.
So like you get your Euro man coming in talking about, I missed the classic samples of this and that, and like, look, motherfucker, like, it's the same dudes making the same shit, but like, how many? It's just year number 13 now or whatever. Like, how many times can we fucking sample? You know what I'm saying? A jazz guitar. Like, you have songs from people upstairs that you like. And that's fine, but we're not gonna make that song over and over and over again. They can't do that shit again. It's like there can only be one San Francisco Nights. There's not gonna be another one. There can only be one Acid Raindrops. There won't be another one. We would look fucking foolish trying to rewrite. And groups do that. They find a song that's a hit, then they try to make that song 80 times again.
Sure,
you know?
Sure. And I had a question for just you. That's the only question that's just for one of you, so don't feel left out, man. I'm just kidding. And but like, so your USC education, like, did that enter in at all to your lyricism at all? Like did you start crafting shit, or is it the same kind of thing where the beats are one thing, and then like the lyrics are just something you're kind of throwing on top of the beat? I mean, like.
You got a degree in what? I'm cutting in.
In creative writing.
Creative writing.
So I'm thinking that it had to have something to do with, you know.
I mean, kind of, I guess, but it's just, I was into hip hop before I got a degree at SC, right? So like, I knew all the lyrics to like a lot of LL Cool J songs before I knew how to write a story or whatever, right? So I would say, if anything, it's the other way around. I would say, if anything, like studying the lyrics of everyone in the 80s and in the early 90s helped me get into fucking SC in a writing part, right? Because, I mean, no one can write a story better than Slick Rick. Give a dude 3 minutes, you got a great fucking story, and it rhymes. It's tough to do, you know? So, yeah, I mean, it's the other way around for me, I think.
Sure. And so this has all been about lyrics just because that's where I've been coming from. That's my
it's
website.
Cool to talk about.
So yeah, and I was just curious about that. So I wanted to ask you also, like, about, like, okay, Pink Floyd, Jefferson Airplane, all the old rock guys, you know that they were like dosing on something or doing some kinds of drugs and shit, but that contributed to the lyrics and like, you know, I mean, so with you guys, when you guys were starting up, you know, like, how much do you think the drugs influenced the lyricism?
Nah, man,
not much.
Man. I mean, I can tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. The only album that we've done that I got fucking super lit to write every rhyme was Question Form Dance.
Really?
I don't need that to fucking.
Yeah.
But so I mean, I'm going to say that's not a factor at all in what we do.
Sure.
I actually like writing on a clear mind. You know what I mean?
Sure. Just one of the ones was like you were talking about on the Oliver Wang interview I just heard. You were talking about how you wanted to throw everything out after OST. You wanted to go completely new with things, right? Yeah. And so going completely new on a lyrical side, was there anything that you guys? It sounds like you guys, well, from what I just heard, you guys just have been doing on the lyrical side. You've been just kind of same thing whole time. But is there anything that you guys decided to change up, like? Because I know you said you decided with Acid Raindrops and Montego Slay to kind of go a little bit more like maybe personal or something, or a little bit more like create things a little differently. So
I mean, the beat tells us what to do. The beat. Once we hear the beat, then the beat tells us, okay, you do this, you do that, and that's what it is. The only time me and this dude ever had like a conflict of what to do was with Up Rock Boogie. He thought it was a sinister ass serious beat. I thought it was a silly ass beat, and I wanted to be silly. We were like, okay, we kind of, we ended up with the silly, you know what I mean? But
I mean, I think kind of going along with what he said, like we never changed anything, right? But we also write about what's happening around us. And the fact of the matter is, like, our lives have changed so much over the course of the albums, right? We were different people when we made OST with different responsibilities and things in our life than we were when we made Stepfather, especially. I would say, like, Stepfather was an album where, like, adulthood was, like, kicking in. You know, like we were, even at OST, I mean, we were kids that were touring the world with not a lot of responsibility. By the time Stepfather came around, there was a whole shit ton of responsibility that was already starting to kick in. And it was like, so that I think of it, we didn't sit down and say we're going to change what we're writing, but our lives had changed. So we're writing about, a different thing,
Sure. So my next question was about, did you notice any catharsis, like kind of a release, like when you wrote things like July 3rd or things like Days Like These, D, A Baby, when you wrote those songs, like getting it out, like over a beat, like did the beats like soothe you in any way? Did it help you get it out, I guess?
Fuck yeah, man. I mean, like those songs you just said, July 3rd, D, I mean, both those, those songs are personal, man. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about real shit. Days Like These, that's fucking personal. Talking about how my mom was young when she had me and wasn't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? How my dad left and all that. That's personal. Yeah. And you know what? It's good to get it out. Yeah. I don't go to therapists and none of that bullshit, so I use my music to do that. You know what I'm saying?
The beat's the therapy.
Yeah, the beat is the therapy, man. The funk is, you know what I mean? So most definitely, man. I mean, songs like those, no doubt. I mean, in every album we have a song or two or three where we let some shit go. Yeah. And when I go back and listen to those songs, it's like, I'm glad I said that.
Sure.
Because it's gone, it's off my chest now.
It's off your chest, like exactly. That. Right, yeah, because when I think of like Otis Redding, Marvin Gaye, and they're letting
those
things
motherfuckers,
out.
Man, those motherfuckers was,
I mean, Hear My
they
Ears.
Were brutally honest, man. Brutally honest.
Hear My Ears, one giant shit off my chest.
Off my chest,
Yeah, word.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's see. What I was going to say is, okay, is there anything lyrically you guys haven't done yet? Like, I mean, I know you've done list tracks like Ultimate 144, DQMOT. You did your little Adam Shibum shit, and you guys have done your Tribe impressions. Very good, by the way. Yeah.
Word.
But, and you even with Ascension to Nowhere, you broke the, like, non-4-4 thing.
Yeah, right.
But
that was definitely
which was the first thing for us,
something we definitely wanted to do for a long time.
I was scared of that beat. But, I mean, when we sat down at the studio and we wrote it, it was... Word, I could do it.
Scared of
I was scared of that shit, man. I was scared of that beat. Just
Adam Chibum too was like a big hurdle too, because that shit was tough to fucking get
even
off.
Foolish people. When we sat down in Visalia, we were getting fucking high, and I was like, I don't want to diss the people that get me high. Right. I don't want to call them foolish. And then one day at the studio, I was like, I know how to approach it now. I'm gonna make it funny. Yeah, some dudes got me high and I didn't want to get high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
no, it's a classic like comedy track.
Word.
Definitely. So, but is there anything that you guys haven't done yet that you're thinking in the future, or is it just something that'll just come when it comes? Like
it just comes when it comes, man. It just comes when it comes, man. I mean, we're not the dudes. We sit down, we come up with we have jokes, and we're like, yo, let's do that. We don't say, yo, man, next time we need to talk about the whales and the dolphins. We get in there, the beat comes on, we vibe, and it's like, okay, what you write? What you got? All right, boom. We're on the same track. Let's keep going. Let's do another verse.
So you said Highlighter started like with you guys in like a fucking hotel room or something?
In Visalia, California, yeah, man.
Visalia?
Yeah, Visalia. eating fucking space cakes, smoking shitloads of weed.
We were 3 days. We were in Visalia, like I think, right? 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
We what? 2 and a half days, whatever. But we had just fucking like, we were kind of a wreck, but we, you know, to wrap our head around what we were trying to accomplish. You know, like Adam Chibum, Mean Spirited, Foolish People, all this shit, like all these songs that I think are like key to how the direction of the album went, they all got written or attempted to get written during that period of time, you know.
Yeah, no doubt. The brainstorm happened right there.
Right. Sure.
I mean, we probably really wouldn't have done Adam Chibum if we were at home trying to wrap our head around the situation.
Yeah. The thing was, I was afraid of burdening you guys with a bunch of like specific questions about specific tracks.
I mean, if you have specific
so
questions,
I didn't
we'll
really
gladly fucking answer them.
I didn't think of anything before I actually came here. But I did have one other question that was like non-lyrics related. So like when you guys take a transitionary step, like the biggest one was Stepfather, it seems like, and even this one right now, there's a bit of a transition. And I think there've been 2 guys on the forums that have come on so far, and it hasn't been negative, but I mean it's just kind of been like, I don't know, man, I don't know if I can follow them on this next step. Like when you hear about fans that are like that, like where they're kind of like, I don't know, like they were cool, but now I don't know if I can take this step with them. Do you feel any like anger or like do you just kind of say fuck it? Like do you just kind of like not let it, or do you kind of like take that? You know, I mean, how do you respond to like the criticism?
I mean, it's.
I know it's a tough question.
No, it's a good question. Like, I mean, for me personally, and I'm sure Double K wants to speak on this too, but okay, we're talking about fan responses and like negative and positive. I mean, when OST came out, right? I mean, me personally, I think both of us were completely oblivious to the fan response to it. Kind of kept us in the dark about how many records it was selling, how well it was doing at the time. So we had really no idea that songs like Acid Raindrops and Montego Say were quickly becoming like fan favorites, right? So
until like, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, so like, yeah, like until it was years later. I mean, I think it was even after actually us finding out about that was what prompted us leaving home and going off into his Stepfather. So, you know, it's weird when you don't have, I mean, imagine being in the dark about how people like an album for 2 years. Now we put an album out and fucking 10 minutes later, we get everyone's fucking opinion like bombarded on us, right? So on one hand, like we're not used to it, so it's still kind of hard to deal with because like we read this shit and we're like, we still go like, yeah, like we go, what the fuck are you talking about? Like out loud, we're like, what are you talking about? Like, what the fuck do you mean? You know, whatever. Obviously, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I feel like personally, if someone can't get with Highlighter, but can get with the earlier shit, maybe they're better off listening to just those records and a bunch of other groups who kind of sound like that. Because that's part of the thing, man. I mean, like we're on our own musical journey and we're growing.
First. You know, I mean, I don't want to say it like this, but it has nothing to do with hip hop when it comes to us. We're musicians, man. Me and this dude don't listen to hip hop. If we do, that means the hip hop that we're listening to is funny as shit. You know, we want to laugh at it. But we're musicians, man. We want to push it all the time. You know what I mean?
Sure. And the fan has to be willing to take the journey with you.
Right.
And if they're not willing to take the journey, then
then they shouldn't be on the fan forum talking about, you know, I think, you know, I'm not really sure about this. I mean,
not sure about this.
You know, because what? Yeah. Because the only reason someone would say that is if they really liked a particular song or something prior. And if you really like that shit so much, then go back and fucking listen to it. Because how many times can we make your fucking, you know, like the same song? We're not, you know, gonna do it.
It's not gonna be just a new album full of like Youth Explosion and Signifying Blood.
Right. Because the thing is, it's like, look, I know what it's like to. Yeah,
we did that.
That was the time.
We did it, and it's done, and we, you know.
Sure.
I mean, there were groups that made weird steps on their second record, and they lost me a little bit, you know. But the fact of the matter is like, no matter what we've changed, we haven't made a huge fucking jump like that. We haven't changed the lineup. We're still making all the fucking beats. It's not like, you know, I mean, we're talking about slight changes. Oh, you guys don't sample enough jazz records anymore. Oh, really? You know. Motherfucker, I mean, I read something someone was talking about, what happened to all the crate digging? I see you guys sampling shit that like everyone knows now or whatever. But my whole thing was like, yo, if you're really that dope, yeah, okay, you know what the obvious shit is on the record. Tell me what the other shit is.
Right. Yeah.
Yo, tell me what the second track is, motherfucker, because that's a record. find that shit.
They're all records.
They're all records.
I mean, yo, of course, me and this dude, we dig, and we got all the records. We want all the rare shit, but we love the shit that we all grew up
by
on.
Stevie Wonder, that shit's I put that on my wedding mixtape.
That's my favorite fucking song in the world.
Yeah.
I'm glad this shit got to get. I mean, we ain't got to pay for it. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm thank God that this dude liked the beat, and I was like, word, that's my favorite song. I mean, of all time.
That's
man.
going on.
You know?
Yeah. Michael Jackson on that last.
Yeah.
We all grew up. We grew up to that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I miss that shit.
We didn't grow up to Bob James. Or rare.
Exactly.
We grew up to that shit. So
I mean, I one of the things. We got all that shit in here. I mean, I miss having like like when we were coming into hip hop before all the crate digging, all this shit. Good times. I recognize it. Guys are rapping over it. Fucking awesome. Fucking. When I heard K Solo and I heard the Before I was like, oh shit! Like my parents like this song. Frankie Beverly Mays, like that brought me into hip hop, right? And it's like I kind of felt like with the youngest generation, like the 15-year-old kids we're about to go out to, I think it's a great idea to bring that element of hip hop back. Like being rare and obscure is all good and great, but then again, you're not making yourself a part of this thing that's hip hop where you steal an old disco record or an old record and make a new song. Like it's becoming something different at that point, So, as far as production wise, I'm sure I know Mike feels the same way. I'm fucking unapologetic about that shit. You recognize it? Good. That's the point. That's the fucking point. Oh, it's Nirvana. No shit, Sherlock.
Right.
No fucking shit, dude. That's the point. We made it sound like something, different.
You want a beer?
I do want a beer. Yeah, we should probably start.
Yeah. I just have one final question.
All right.
What are my chances of getting my hands on that Marble Madness console? Because that shit, I rocked that shit as a kid. That Marble Madness
Oh,
game.
man. Those are tough, man. I don't even see them around L.A.
Madness.
Dude, I fucking rocked that game.
Oh, man.
Yo, good luck.
Good luck. Mine's staying mine, so.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm always playing.
I know.
No, that was it.
Yeah, I got it. No storage. At Ritu's parents.
Damn.
There it is.
All right, cool. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
No, that's good.
All right, what you want, man?